If I break one more time, would you give me a try? Or would we break anyhow? If we go dancing in the night, is there a way to pretend we're still more than just friends? If I gave you the world, would you still be in love? Is there a way to pretend you and I were not condemned? I'm wide awake in dream. I'm wide awake in dream. You know I waited for love, no. Anything to keep me afloat. I'm wide awake in a dream. If you just gave me a sign, I would be there somehow. We would just make believes. Then I would fall in a lucid dream. I'm wide awake in dream. I'm wide awake in dream. You know I waited for love, no. Anything to keep me afloat. I'm wide awake in a dream. I'm wide awake in a dream. I'm wide awake in a dream.
Hey, let's hear it for impromptu streams, huh? What do you think? I'm kind of in a slog here with the magic item pricing, especially when it comes to the rare category here. I think it's the bulkiest of all the different rarity values for magic items. So I guess my hope is that we can kind of two birds, one stone, maybe even 3 or 4 birds. I got nothing against birds. Maybe we should redefine that too. But yeah, maybe instead of sitting here by myself and just kind of staring off into space, trying to summon the willpower and the focus to do this, if I'm on live stream, there's a little bit more motivation to do that, and hopefully a little collaboration and chit chat here as well. A glimpse into the madness and the intent behind a lot of these pricing as we're seeing. This is the rare category, not the finalized version. Westy will put the finishing touches on this before you all get to see it. But this is the long and short of it right here. And yeah, I've gotten a fair way through, and I thought I was very much getting near the end. It turns out that there's still like 100 more items I have to go through here. So yeah, we will hopefully the by the completion of this stream, we'll be complete with the rare magic items here. And you will definitely notice, especially if you were involved in our previous Coalescence campaign. Of course, this is a lot more organized and user-friendly, but the pricing falls much more in line with the rules as written. You'll notice that very few, if any, rare items exceed the 5,000 gold piece cost, because according to Raw, rare items will be anywhere between 500 and 5,000. Plus one armor being one of the exceptions, because you do still have to pay for the cost of the original armor, plus the 5,000 for the enchantment. Otherwise, I mean, you look at what we got here, and everything falls very much in line. You won't find anything below 500, you won't find anything above 5,000. And that was not the case with some of these items that we had. A lot of it was pulled from information that I found on the internet that seemed reasonable at a quick glance. Some items were underpriced, some were overpriced. A lot of things I just kind of threw a dollar value on in the midst of trying to juggle 6 or 7 other things. So this is a much more dedicated look, and something that should hopefully serve us well in the years to come. And yeah, this is where I have left off. I just finished up with all the rare rings, and most of them came down in value. I think almost all of these were priced at 5,000, except for the Ring of the Ram and the X-Ray Vision Ring, which I did keep at 4,000. I felt like that was reasonable. The Spell Storing, the Protection, and Temporal Salvation, which if you saw in Moorlander's inventory, I just posted about that one. Very, very cool item. The rest of them, though, Animal Influence was at 5,000, Evasion was at 5,000, Featherfall was at 5,000. These all came down a bit, and I kind of look at it from a few different perspectives. Is it taking one of your attunement slots? And what is the overall value? Like, are there charges involved with it? Like the Ring of Evasion, you can only use a few times per long rest. So while it's a very useful item, it can get tapped out. So it is kind of a finite resource. Animal Influence, it's useful, but the saving throw DCs are very low. So it should be set somewhere around there. It doesn't require your attunement slot, so it is set above 1,000. That is also a big thing as well. If it requires attunement or not, that plays in big with a lot of these. And then likewise with a lot of the consumables like your potions, those, even though they're classified as rare, those are going to be towards the lower end. And they're going to be about 1/10 of the value if it were like a permanent kind of item. Like if you had an item that would give you permanent invulnerability, damage resistance to everything, I don't know. I'd say that'd probably be worth more than 5,000 gold, but considering that it's a potion, it's considered rare, I would set it at maximum value, divide by 10. 500 is what you get. Diminution and Mind Reading and Gaseous Form are probably the exceptions that you'll find below the 500 gold piece value. In addition to the Whip. Actually, I think I skipped right over that one. I think I went Tree and then the Reveler's Concertina. So I do need to go back to this one, because I'm not sure if that's what we want the value at. But consumable items are something that'll kind of break the rule in that respect also. So let's get to it, friends. Thanks for joining in. 8 viewers here on our live stream, and as far as Tiki-Taki, we got a slow tread of people joining us here. Thank you. Hope you're having a good weekend. And yes, I'm looking for the Whip, Qualls Feather Token. It is rare. These are all consumables as well, so they're kind of low value. The token disappears. You can throw it within 10 feet. A floating whip takes its place. So it's like a spiritual weapon, but probably a better attack bonus. Not as great of potential damage, but the +5 is nice. Disappears after an hour. And it does have reach as well. That's very important. So something like this, definitely going to be worth more than 200. It is a consumable. I think it's the only one of these Quell's Feather tokens that has an offensive capability, aside from the bird. That's why the bird one is priced the highest. Allows you to summon a rock for 24 hours, which is just all kinds of badass. Let's see, though. For the whip, we could probably go... should we price is right this and have you all, like, put in your bids for... and then it's whoever's closest without going over what I have in mind here. We'll throw in a little contest interaction. But yeah, if the max value of this thing is going to be 5,000, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that. I'm thinking somewhere between, yeah, probably like the 15 to 1800 range is where I'm at, and in that mine we're going to go 17. And that will bring us to the Robe of Eyes. A little sneak peek in the background here for a map that our Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday evening table will be visiting at some point. It is entirely unpopulated, so I am giving away a little bit here, but I am also keeping a lot in reserve. It's, I think, one of the very first maps I ever got on Roll20 back in, like, 2015 or 16, and just have never found the opportunity to use it. And we will be using it for one of those tables here pretty soon. Okay, Robe of Eyes. You can see in all directions. Requires attunement. You get advantage on perception checks. Wow, dark vision to 120, and you can see invisible creatures. Wow. If you get a light spell cast on you, though, you'll be blinded for a minute. It's an automatic blinding, too, for at least one round, and then it's a very low to moderate saving throw after that. That is pretty badass. 5,000 is what we have it set at by default. I'm inclined to think, though, because there's a little bit of a penalty to it, it's probably going to be between more like 4,600, I think, between 45 and 5,000. And then we have the rods. Rod of, and then there are monsters. Okay. Whew. There are a lot of them. Goodness gracious. I do not see any of them that are called the Rod of Blade Bending, however. So that is likely a Kobold Press item that will be deleted. A Rod of Deflection. Likewise, I'm not seeing that. Deflection is gone. Hellish Grounding. Nope. Hellish Flames. And that's likely one that is not in the list because the Book of Many Things is one of the newest books I got, and when Westy put this foundation together for all of us, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 books that it's behind on, one of which is the Mordenkainen's Tome of Marvelous Magic, I think it's called, and then the Book of Many Things, I think, are the 2 books that the items are sparse to none. Like, I found a couple while I'm going through that I've added in, but for the most part I'm just kind of like, alright, we've got enough items, I'm not going to really trouble myself with completionist sake so much as getting this into your guys' hands as quickly as possible. Okay, so Hellish Grounding is a no-go. Ah, the rod of the famous Greek philosopher Isocles. Let's see here. Oh, no respect for philosophy. No item. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Alright, we'll get rid of you. And the Protestant Reformation. I don't think we got one of those. Retribution, Resurrection. No Reformation. Getting rid of a lot here. Rod of Rulership, that is definitely in there. And until the 2024 book kicks these out, I've been using the DMG as opposed to the 5e SRD, because this is copied verbatim from the DMG, whereas this is more or less text translated from the DMG, and there might be the occasional difference of verbiage. I haven't found any yet, but just to be safe, I'm using the official DMG. Well, okay, you can present the rod, yikes, and command obedience, double yikes, from each creature of your choice that you can see within 120 feet. I mean, that's impressive. Each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by 8 hours. While charmed, they regard you as its trusted leader. If harmed by your companions or commanded to do something contrary to its nature, the target ceases to be charmed. Cannot be used again. Once a day item, and can affect a large swath of people. Moderate saving throw. Very long duration for the charm. I'm thinking 5,000 is right where it should be. Rod of Sacrificial Blessing. I don't think I saw that one. Nope. That's another one we can kick out. Swarming Skulls. I'm just curious about this one. I bet it's legendary. Oh, it's an artifact. Even better. So that's definitely why that one's not in there. Because the Chains of Asmodeus, I believe those items are inside of the compendium, and I've made the mistake of adding a few of them in and then clicking on it and being like, alright, now what does this thing do? Oh, it's an artifact. That's why it's not in there. I specifically told Westy to take out all of the legendary items. Sad news, friends, those will no longer be available for purchase. I believe that is very fitting for a even high fantasy Magic economy as we find ourselves in, which, granted, we're all kind of in the trenches right now. You say high fantasy Magic economy, where the hell is that, Daniel? But I'm talking about the overall scope of our campaign. We are aware that it is a intergalactic. There are numerous merchants from different worlds, and when this campaign does finally get into coalescing with that side of it, your access to things like this will be much more plentiful. So I look at it in that respect, that even legendary items are not things that should be available for sale. I will be reinstituting the legendary magic item as a Beskar redemption reward, and then that is something that you can kind of light the fuse on and get your character towards finding those primo items that you have your eyes on, and then I'll kind of work something into the story over the next session or two to get those items in play for you. But as far as collecting gold pieces, liquidating things over 20 sessions or so, and then finally I have enough money to buy the Staff of the Magi, we're going to kind of go a different route with it this time around. So all of your items from common to very rare will be available eventually, depending on our community rewards, because yes, Moorlander will need those Beskars to construct those very rare items that you guys really want to get your hands on. It's like 95% well at this point. The long stream last night definitely took it out of me, and I was starting to feel a little under the weather again, but thankfully caught it in time. And definitely aware that it's not fully gone, so I gotta keep on top of that. Rod of Rulership was our last one. There was, what, the Swarming Skulls? Is that where we are? Yeah, that doesn't exist. Rod of Thorny Thorn. Not seeing that either. They're not always alphabetical, too. Like S, R, and then A's. And then it kind of gets alphabetical, and then it kind of goes away from it again. So there is that added complication. The Underworld Navigation. I do not believe I saw that in there, and I've scrolled through it a dozen times. Jester, I don't recall seeing. Mariner, I don't recall seeing. Let's just double check. I can always undo, but yeah, Jester, Mariner. No, none of those are here. Rod of Security, I believe that's a... Is that very rare? Yes, it is. Yeah, I was contemplating giving that to somebody for one of our very rare Hype Train rewards, but that's a little too nice for this stage of the campaign, I feel. Rod of Absorption, I feel like that's going to be a very rare. And yes, it do. The Rod of Seven Parts, that's from the Vecna book. That is probably another book that we don't have items from, although most of them are likely to be artifact value. So yeah, we will not be seeing those available for purchase. Rod of Resurrection, I'm inclined to think very rare. Legendary, so yeah, we're not going to be finding any of those for purchase. Lordly Migget. Legendary, yep, we're not getting any of those. Okay. Yo, what's happening, Johnny? Okay, so what do we have next? Rod of the Pact Keeper we did get. The Vonendad, or Vonendad, we do have that. I did see that one. There it is. That is from Storm King's Thundry. A rare item. Several of them have been made. 4 feet long. 100-pound rod. Goodness. Sized comfortably to fit in a fire giant's hand. Okay. And you can use it to locate object. If it's specifically made for adamantine, the range is increased. I mean, that is a very, very specific item. So something like that, I'm kind of thinking like 800. And it requires attunement? Did I read that right? It does. I mean, yeah, that should definitely be a lower value object. I don't see anybody ever buying one of those, but if they do, it should definitely be pretty affordable. Rogue's Mantle. From the Book of Many Things. Somehow this item made it in. Interesting. What do we got here? Bum, 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 bum. You get Dark Vision. Increased if you already had it. Bonus action to teleport. Oh yeah, somebody bought this toward the end of the last campaign, so we had to put it in because I had to come up with a price for it. That's why. You can teleport. It's like a free Misty Step as long as you're in dim light or darkness, and you get advantage on the first melee attack you make before the end of the turn. Willful Enmity, the antagonize spell with a moderate DC, and it's a once a day. It's a unique spell too from the Book of Many Things. Yeah, this is I really think it's the central ability that gives it its primo. Like every round you get a 30-foot teleport as long as you're in shadows. 5,000 seems about right. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Rope of Entanglement. DMG option. Feudal Waterdeep XP booster. Look at that, 64k already raised out of 250. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling the price point was set just right on that. You guys are going to have to definitely come together on that, but it is very, very feasible. I know we're getting close for Moorlander's 100k rare inventory as well, which is also part of the reason why I want to make sure this is done, so when you guys finish it, there's not a delay of, well, when are we going to have access to the items? And then same thing for Monday, Tuesday, Sunday evening. I know they're going to be salivating at the bit when they have access to that community challenge as well. Okay, 3-pound rope. You can use your action to direct it forward. Dexterity saving throw versus restrain. Can release the creature with a bonus action. They can free themselves. Moderate difficulty. It can be destroyed. It is a pretty resilient piece of rope. I don't think that is a 5,000 gold piece item, though. It's very handy, very circumstantial, and it's moderate, so I'm inclined to say between 2,000 and 3,000. Probably closer to the... And here's where it works in your favor. I am such... 24 is the number that has never really worked out for me in any respect. Ironically, it's 2024. So you'll notice that I will never price anything at 2,400. If I'm inclined to think 2,400, I always lowball 100 and go with 23. And if there is anything that's priced at 2,400, it's because it was priced that way before I got my hands on it. But I feel like I've looked over every item individually here just to ensure that it's been fairly priced with the standards that I want our community to have and not what some other group had for their players. Alright, the Ruinous Flail. There it is. Also from the Book of Many Things. Maybe Westy did get items from this, or maybe he has been adding them in while I haven't been paying attention. Alright, it's a +1 weapon. That means it's 300 gold pieces by default. It's a rare weapon, so it's going to go up. Double damage to objects and structures. If you hit a creature, it's a con save versus poisoned. And they will take continuous necrotic damage. Wow. It's a once a day effect, though. Alright, yeah, I think I know just the price for you. And that is going to be an affordable 1,800. As we proceed to the Rust Monster Shell, I'm kind of thinking this... Items that are named after monsters typically come from Cobalt Press. I'm like 100% certain this will not be in here. Yep, Rust Monsters themselves, but no items named after them. Sage Serpent Signet. Alright. Loading. Wow, I did not think these were going to be in here. Alright. What does the Serpent Signet do? It's rare, you have to be a spellcaster. Did we get that? Hey, we did, fantastic. Okay. Cast Augury once a day. Fear and Hex. Additional once per day. I don't know. What is Augury? What level is that? Second level spell. Kind of a general divination. Yeah, I'm not thinking this is going to be incredibly valuable. And it requires attunement. Yeah, this is going to be one of those beginner magic items. Very affordably priced. 700. Songbird Signet. There you are. I'll So Spellcaster also gives you Augury again, and Charm Person and Hypnotic Pattern. Slightly more useful than the last one. Fear and Hex, I don't know. I feel like those are kind of both in line with each other, actually, so kind of feel like this is going to be identical. Another 700. The Scarab of Rebirth. That sounds interesting. Oh, it's Cobalt Press. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. The Scarf of Deception. Ooh. No matching result. Yeah, some of these kind of tell they're Cobalt Press by the name of them. They have some items that aren't really like typical bracers, rings, boots, cloaks, things like that. Like they'll have earrings and scarves and stuff like that nature. A sash, perhaps. Alright, the Scepter of Majesty. Or Skeptree if you happen to be British. Nope, not in here. Scimitar of the Desert Winds. We got a few different scimitars here, but none of them of the Desert Winds. Alrighty. Scourge of Devotion. Nothing doing. Okay, Scroll of Protection. This is one of the more interesting items in 5e that had to kind of do a deep delve into the mechanics, because one of our tables was of the understanding that scrolls kind of worked like potions, that like anybody could use them. You didn't necessarily have to have access to the spell on your list to cast the spell. Yo, thank you for the sub there, buddy. Much appreciated. A sub at tier 1, 9 months. Forgot to put all the high-level magic stuff on my characters. No, I put it on there. It's just in, it's written in Japanese, which your character hasn't learned yet, I don't think. But yeah, we had, and I'm still, even though it's been 10 years, a lot of my sensibilities are still rooted in 3rd edition, and in some cases even like 2e and older school D&D than that, because that's my history, that's where I come from. So I legitimately thought, like, yeah, 5e could have totally done that, just made scrolls one-use items that anybody can use, so it doesn't matter if you have access to the spell. And there are some ambiguities in the rules as they're written, as far as who can use a scroll and who cannot. This Scroll of Protection, and now I see there's a Scroll of Writing here as well, but before this book came out, this was the only scroll in the DMG that obeyed the rule of, yes, anybody can use this scroll. Doesn't matter if you can cast spells or not. All the other scrolls, however, do require that your character have access to that magic, at least on their spell list. You don't have to currently be able to cast it. You can like upcast from a scroll, but there are like rules and what have you involved in that. But yeah, this is the one scroll that brought up all of that discussion and confusion at the time. Alright, so rare. It's a use an action. This is interesting. I don't see anywhere in here where it says the scroll is consumed when you use it. Although I guess potions don't say that either. Is it just like it's one of those common sense things, I'm guessing? So I'm going to treat this as a consumable item. And I guess that's all I was looking for. I wasn't really reading the effects. Prevents this type of creature from entering or affecting anything within. Okay. Could be very useful if you guys get one of those in this campaign versus undead. moves with you. However, if you move in such a way that a creature of the specified type would be inside the cylinder, the effect ends. So yeah, you can't like move around and like kind of boom, 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 push all of them out. And it's a charisma check? That's weird. Yeah, I feel like it should be a charisma saving throw. It's a magic item. I mean, a charisma check kind of implies like you can sweet talk the barrier into like, come on, baby, let me inside of here. You know it's cool. I'll have to. I'm gonna look into that. 5e scroll of protection. Oh, come on. Errata. 2015. Is it consumable? Well, somebody else had that question. Charisma. If they can make a... I mean, that's the AI overview, too. Doesn't necessarily prove anything. Biggest weak point, they can do a charisma check. Okay, let's see what they're talking about here. This seems nuts. Means no fireball, no hellish rebuke, charisma check. Am I the only one who feels charisma check is weird? Check, not save? From where can a creature attempt to overcome it? That's a good question. Right next to it, within sight, on the same plane. Within sight, at least you can, on the same plane. Come on, dude. I just don't know. That's so weird that it's a charisma check. What's happening, Shags? Good to see you, buddy. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, we got some viewers out here. Hopefully everybody doesn't have it on lurk. Am I the only one who finds this just weird that a magic item's effect can be overcome with a check and not a saving throw? I can't think of a single other instance of a magic item where this happens, and that doesn't necessarily disqualify it from that. I mean, every magic item and every rule is unique in its own way, but I'm thinking back to like D&D, Advanced D&D, 2nd Edition D&D, 3E, so on and so forth. I'm like, it's always been a saving throw versus really any magic item or effect. Like, even if you kind of take the derivative and go over to the spell side of things, like there's no spell that says if the person makes a check, then they can overcome the effects of this spell. I could see it like with Entangle, of course. It's a saving throw initially and then a check to try and get out of it if you fail to save. But even still, it's initially a save. Weird. I guess, with that in mind, then, I'm going to bump it up to 2,000, just in that regard, because it is a, well, no, I'm treating it as a consumable item, so I'm actually thinking I'm going to drop it down to 1,300. I'm just going to add a little note here on the side as well. This is worth looking into and possibly house ruling into a saving throw at some point. It's just something to look into later. All right, Searing Whip. What do we have for you? We have nothing. Nothing. I'll have nothing. The Sealy Staff. I don't know. This could be Wildmont or nothing. Well, there were rules about it, but nothing about a magic item. Seneschal's Gloves. Seneschal. There we go. Did I spell that wrong? Oh, yes, I did. I missed the other. Yes. Okay. Officially nothing in there. Serpent staff. Nope. Whew. Alright, we're getting there. Serpent scales. Shadow Tome. I bet this is one of those wizard items from the Tasha's Cauldron. Or it's a Kobold Press item from Dark or Deep Magic. Shadowfell Brand Tattoo. Little ADA or OCD thing right there. Likewise here. Should I just fix up all these little things that I see as we go along in addition to the cost. Shadowfell Brand. What do we got? Alright. Requires attunement. Gives you dark vision. And once per... basically long rest, although sunset is more specific because some groups might be working graveyard shift. You never know. Advantage on stealth. Okay. That's cool. I don't know that it's worth 5,000 cool. Dark vision, stealth advantage, half damage once per day. That and its attunement, that feels like 2,000. And then we have Shadowfell Shard, probably one of those cool Sorcerer Edition items. Yep. When you use meta magic option, you can curse a creature. Till the end of the next turn, they have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws. I want to go back and double check. I think I've been pricing these shards the same at 3,500, but this one kind of feels a little lesser than some of those others, perhaps. Some of the others gave you like different options with what you could do with your meta magic. Astral Shard, 3,500. Far Realm Shard, 3,500. This one, Shadowfell Shard. Disadvantage on saving throws is nice. Ability checks is kind of more circumstantial. I think I'm just going to cut it in half. I don't know that it's as useful as some of the others. It's definitely not 5,000. I'm going to say 2,500. And now we come to the Shark Tooth Crown. Again, it's named after a monster, so pretty sure it's not going to be in here. Nope. Shark Skin Vest. Also likely not in here. That is correct. The Shield of Ganain. A barbarian item, huh? Shield of Gnaw. Oh, it's not in here. Sorry. Shield of Missile Attraction. That's a core item. It's a cursed item. I thought that's what it was. Yes, cursed items are not available for purchase or sale. Depending on plot device and what have you, you may unfortunately end up with one even if you do purchase from a legitimate shop, but they're not going to be included in our overall inventory in this respect. Shield of Missile Reversal is not an official item. +2 shield, yes. Shields got priced at 400, 4,000, and 40,000. Weapons got priced at, I believe, 300, 3,000, 30,000. And then most of your +1, +2, +3 attack and save DC items, like the Pack Keeper Rod and what have you, got 500, 5,000, 50,000. So there's a, like I said, a consistency in the pricing all the way across. And that will catch us up on the rods and these Sage's items. And now we come to the next section. Whew, there's still so many items. Aye. Okay, Shimmer Ring. Haha, funny. I get it. The compendium doesn't get it, though. Alright, Signet of the Magister. Signet of... Nothing found. Silverhorn of Valhalla. I think I went through all of the Valhallas already when I got the brass or whatever the lowest one was. I think I went through all of them and tried to price them accordingly based off of their lower versions. Okay, silver's the lowest one. And then iron, I believe, is the legendary one, which is the reason why we don't have that. And then bronze, I think, is the very rare. Let me check. Very rare items. Of course, this will be what I work on next time around. Iron horn. Or I'm sorry, not iron horn. Golden horn, right? I'm losing track. Bronze horn. Jesus. Bronze horn Valhalla. Yeah, 39,000 for that one. So yeah, I definitely went through the Valhallas and priced them. The bronze horn. What about the brass horn? That should be back up here. Brass horn of Valhalla was 5,000, which is the max that a rare item should be. That's why I made the silver just a skosh less, because yeah, you're still gonna get like anywhere between 4 and 10 berserkers here, which is it's a hefty offensive output right there. So yeah, I think 4,000 is good for the silver horn of Valhalla, especially with no attunement. Skald's Harp. Anything? Any love for the bards? Nope. Alright. And Skeleton Key, none of those have been in. I've been deleting those. Skull of Selfish Knowledge. I think I know who could use that. I think I know who has that. Holy shit, it actually exists too. Oh, wow. You can make the magical skull devour a non-magical book, map, or scroll. Once devoured, it is forever available to you. You can never write it down or communicate it to others. Requires attunement. That sounds like 2,200 to me. And we'll move on to the Slate Light Ring. Nope. The Slime Blade. This could go either way. Nope. A Spectral Blade. Specifically a short sword, too. Interesting. Not in here, though. Unless it was one word. Nope. The Spell Disruptor Horn. Oh, wow. That sounds like it's a fake item, but if it's real, look out. Yeah, that's fake. Oh yeah, that's very true as well. If there are items from official books that I don't have in my compendium here, they are likewise being removed from the list until such a time as I either acquire the book or if a player hunts that item down and specifically requests its addition into the official inventory here for us. Good point there. Well, yeah, there's that. Spell scrolls, those have already been priced out. Catch this one up. Okay, spell rot tattoos. Those are just identical. I've just been copying that because they're basically just spells. They get erased off of you once you cast it. So there's not really much difference between the two. Okay, spider staff, spider staff, spider staff. Probably no such thing as a spider staff. Hey, there is a spider staff! I was wrong. I was wrong. For 99% of people, the hardest words to say, I was wrong. The top of this black adamantine staff is shaped like a spider, weighs 6 pounds. Must be attuned. Get spider climb and web. That's kind of cool. You don't get any bonus to attack or damage. Oh, you do get extra poison damage when it hits. That's kind of cool. That should be one of those beginner affordable items, though. Something more towards like 1300. And here we get to some staffs. Like this one already is overpriced, I can see. Staff of Healing by max is going to be 5,000. Staff of Controlling whatever, I don't care, is going to be 5,000 max. It might even come down from that. Yeah, otherwise, let's get started on the Staff of Charming. Bard, Cleric, Sorcerer, Warlock. Who did they leave out? The Paladin. Man. Okay. Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock. Okay, Warlock, and the Wizard. Wizard. Alright. Did my 420 brain actually remember all 6 of those at once? Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. I'm pretty proud of that. Alright, you can do a Charm Person, a Command, or Comprehend Languages. Use your spell save DC. It's a magic staff. If you fail a save, you can turn it into a successful one once a day. You can redirect it likewise once per... Nope, you can redirect it at will if you make the save. And like most staffs, it's a chargeable item. Pretty handy. Command is still a pretty low-level spell, and I would say that's the most useful thing we're getting at. I mean, it's the lowest level spell other than a cantrip. Depending on your spell save DC, though, it still retains a lot of utility into the upper levels. It's definitely not a 5,000 gold piece item, though. 5,000... we're going to set it towards the upper 2,000s. We'll go 2,900 on that. Staff of Healing might be more between the 4,000 and 5,000, depending on what kind of restoration we're looking at here. Ten charges. Cure Wounds, Lesser Restoration, or Mass Cure Wounds. That is very handy. That is definitely 5,000 gold. Bard, Cleric, and Druid. Bard, Cleric, Druid. Hey, the rest of you jumped in there illegally. We didn't invite you. You can see my inexperience with Excel here on full display. I hope I'm not embarrassing myself too much. It's been a few years now, so I can say funny story at this point, but yeah, I was fired from a job after only 7 days due to my inexperience with Excel, which, in my defense, they said they would fucking train me, and they really, like, just didn't really do any of that. Okay, Staff of Swarm. Insectoids. Okay, well that's Bard. Oh, you're gonna make me do all that again, huh? Well, if that's how it's gonna be. Bing! Alright. Swarming insects. We get Giant Insect or Insect Plague. 4th level transmutation. That's pretty cool. I guess I killed the original when I clicked the second link. Huh. A 20-foot radius, so it's basically a fireball filled with stinging, biting insects, piercing damage. And it is a concentration, unlike a fireball, which is instantaneous. That's pretty nice. 5,000 might be right about at that point, but are they... It's a charge item, right? Yeah, 4 charges, 5 charges, and it has 10 charges. So it's basically, I mean, it's pretty limited in how often you can use it. Definitely more valuable than the Staff of Charming, I would say. Not as valuable as the Staff of Healing. Let's go 37 and move on to the Staff of the Woodlands. A druidic item. Uh-oh. There we are. Okay, Staff of Wither. Or no, we're still in Staff of the Druids. Okay, yeah, a lot of different effects here. Awaken is a nice one. Wall of Thorns is pretty nice too. Yeah, I mean that's permanently turning a plant or something a lot more sentient. Go back. Wall of Thorns. Level 6 Conjuration. 7 die 8 piercing damage. Okay. Still pretty limited. Some of the spells are pretty basic things that most druids are likely to have, I would think. Speak with plants, bark skin, possibly stuff that they wouldn't have access to. Awaken might be like they can get in an extra time per day because it's part of the staff. Wall of Thorns is probably the most useful thing. At least when you first gain the item, I would say. You also get Pass Without Trace without using any charges. That's pretty money. And you can turn it into a tree. That's pretty nice all around. Staff of the Woodlands. Even still, I don't know that it's a max value item. I would say 4,500. And then Staff of Wither. Cleric, Druid, Warlock, huh? Okay. what do you do? Magic Quarterstaff. On a hit, you can make it deal extra necrotic damage. And for the next hour on a failed save, disadvantage on some crucial physical saving throws and ability checks. It only has 3 charges. I was going to say it has 10 charges. I mean, this is a very focused item here, but 3 charges, I would say, falls more in line with the Ring of Evasion, but it's on the offensive side. Ring of Evasion I priced at 3,600. I'm going to do the same for this one. The Starshot Crossbow, you say? And I don't know if I can ever thank you enough for this, Westy. I mean, I will probably thank you each time that I interact with this thing here and update it. But this is a very cool thing that you've done, not just for me personally, but for our community in general. So much love to you, man. Thank you. Okay, like most magical ranged weapons, it will produce its own ammunition. It vanishes when it hits. It has 3 charges, regain some each day. Okay, so the next time you hit a creature with a ranged attack, you or another creature of your choice can regain hit points. Okay. You can use it to deal extra fire damage, or you can turn invisible. That's kind of nice. Three charges, 3 different effects. It feels very much in line with the item right above it. 3,600. Stone of Controlling. I think that's under Elemental Stone. No. Wasn't there? Oh. Alright, yeah, I guess they do each have their own individual thing. But yeah, there was something, yeah, there's the brazier, there's the sensor. So yeah, it was a different item that they were, maybe it was the, I think it was the figurines of Wondrous Power that were in there separately. So now they are condensed into one. And yeah, these are all set at 5,000, I do believe. Stone of Controlling. Conjure Elemental once per day. Yeah, that's why it's set at maximum capacity. It is not a finite. It is a pretty beefy summon. And it is no attunement, so yeah, that is very appropriately priced at the maximum value. And that cuts us another swath of green. We are getting there. 235, we're at 179, and I'd say at least 10 or so of these items are probably going to get deleted out of here. Stone Chewer Gauntlets kind of sound like one of them. That is correct. Okay, Stormheart Bow. Ah. Stygian Crook. Nothing doing. Summer Fae. Summer Girl, Summer Fae. Sunblade, okay. Definitely. It is a longsword, you say. Okay. +2 weapon. Basically a lightsaber. Deals an extra 1 die 8 radiant. Emits light. Okay. Yeah, this might be a little better, actually, because it's a rare damage type. Radiant is not something you find as often as your fire, lightning, thunder, what have you. What did I have? The Dragon Slayer? 4,000 plus cost. Giant Slayer, Giant Bane, Giant Slayer 4,000 plus cost. Those are very, very specific items. Like, this is very specific as well in that it only deals the extra damage versus undead. But it's a rarer damage type, so that might make it a little different than some of these others that I've been pricing at the 4,000 plus cost ish. Okay, let's check the item again. And it's a +2 weapon, which I don't think the Dragon Slayer or the Giant Bane even is a +1 weapon. I feel like it's just a magical sword. I could be wrong. Might be +1. It's +1. So that's going to be the difference right there. The extra +1, even though it's a circumstantial. Yeah, that's going to add an extra 1,000 to it right there at the maximum value, but because of the circumstantial nature of it, you save 100 gold pieces. There are some items that deal radiant. It's just not the it's not a common elemental type, and there are some items that allow you to gain resistance against certain elemental types, and then radiant and necrotic tend to be excluded from those. Sometimes psychic is as well. Like, those are the three elements that I kind of consider the rarer elements, whereas your elementals and your thunder, what have you, like, those are your more traditional elements. The Sun Staff, I ain't gonna find it if I type it like that though. From the Book of Many Tahings, Cleric, Druid, Wizard. Perfect. Okay, +1 weapon. Also deals extra fire damage against anything it hits. It's a spell focus. While holding the staff, you can re-roll damage dice up to your proficiency bonus if it's fire or radiant damage. Whew. Once per day, okay. It's a light. Versatile, I mean every staff gets that, so really the beef of it is right up in here. +1 weapon, it's rare, it always does extra fire damage when it hits, and it's got a once a day very useful ability. I'm kind of thinking a flat 2,000 be appropriate for that. Sun Forger is our next. Hey, it is in there. Very nice. It's a +2 weapon. That's already probably going to bring it up close to the 5,000, depending on how circumstantial it is. You can also throw it, and it deals frickin' fireball damage almost. 2 dice short of fireball damage. Once per short rest or long rest. I mean, short rest ability of it makes it very much less circumstantial, because that's basically 3 fireballs a day. And you can use your action to have it come back to you. If you don't call it back to your hand, it will reappear back where it exploded. Yeah, this feels right there at the max value. 5K. The Swollbold Wraps. Let's see. Sounds like a monk item. Sounds like a no item. Alright, the Sword of Life Stealing. I think No, 9 life stealing. That was the one that I priced. Okay. It's rare. When you roll a natural 20, they take extra damage. You gain temporary hit points. That is very circumstantial. Especially since 2 monster types are disqualified from that happening. That is definitely not 5,000 gold. I'm thinking that's closer to 1,000 gold. And the Sword of Wounding. Okay. Does F up your hit point restoration. And it can take consecutive damage thereafter. Not a whole lot, but nickel and dimes are nickels and dimes. Fingers and toes, fingers and toes. 40 things we share. 41 if you count the fact that we don't care. It's nice. It's not maximum value nice. I'm kind of thinking at best it's going to be mid to 75% value, so yeah, we'll go 2,800. And that's it for the S's. Nice. Shade all those in. And now we come to the T's. The Tamer's Whip. Nope, nope, nope. Teapot of Soothing? Could be. Not if I type it like that, though. Not that way either, though. The Tenebrous Flail. Nothing under Tenebrous at all. Alright. Tentacly Rod. Alright, it's a drow weapon. 15 feet reach. 3 tentacles. They get a +9 to hit. Bludgeoning damage. If you hit with all 3, they have to roll a con save. Half speed, disadvantage on deck saves. No reactions for a whole minute. On each of its turns, it can either use an action or a bonus action, but not both. It does get a saving throw again each round. Direct each tentacle. So it's giving you 3 attacks with 1 action, regardless of how many attacks you actually have. At +9 to hit. Average damage with a secondary effect that really has no limit. You can just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. That kind of feels appropriate at 5,000. The Thane's Hauberk. Dwarven weapon. Anything for us? Oh, nothing doing. Alright. Of course, any of these can be added back in when the books are acquired or anything. The main thing is to have all of the items that we collectively have access to available ASAP. The Tipstaff. That sounds wrong. The Torque of the Comet. The Trick Shot Mirrors were not in the books earlier. Trollskin Armor, probably not one of our Items, I would think. Yep, troll skin, or it's 2 words. Likewise, yeah. Monster-themed items tended to come from the Cobalt Press stuff I found. We have the Umbral Chopper. Nothing doing. And I am in fact going to send us to an intermission here while I take a little break. We will catch up with you for the rest of this here shortly, friends. final bit here before we come back. Just putting the finishing touches on this breakfast. Hope you're all having a good weekend out there.
Leather jacket, boot shades, and an automobile, like I saw you in a picture in a magazine. Sun is up, blazing hot down on the boulevard. Look like a movie star, but you're not even trying hard. On the road, going nowhere with the top down, while the rest of us are stuck here in our small towns. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know who you are. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know who you are. Staring at the drops keep coming, drops keep coming. Lay it down. I can't stop falling, can't stop falling now. Strolling down, see my reflection in the mirror. On top like you, and now I'm feeling like a winner. Headed up to a world without a river. Just the thought of it makes my body shiver. I'm on the road, going nowhere with the top down, while the rest of you are stuck there in your small towns. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know who you are. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. Staring at the drops keep coming, drops keep coming. You lay it down. I can't stop falling, can't stop falling. Staring at the drops keep coming, drops keep coming. You lay it down. I can't stop falling, can't stop falling now. The drops keep coming, drops keep coming. You lay it down. I can't stop falling, can't stop falling now. I look the other way. I don't see how it's got anything to do with me. Oh, hurry, I need my beat at any expense. It doesn't make sense, but every cell in my body eats its protein. Oh, grass is only for cows and rabbits that don't know how to kill and conquer, to win and rule. Oh, it's what we learn at school. Ooh,
recycle and sort by source. We've banned all plastic straws, quit smoking. Oh, every paycheck we get, 10% is donated to clean our conscience, and it works out great. Woo-hoo. Why should we change? Sleep less, be more efficient. Come on, perform better, climb higher, educate.
All right, friends. We are back to it for the final 40-something items here. So, yeah, hopefully 20, 30 minutes or so ought to be able to knock out the rest of this and have it in your hands over in Moorlander's inventory once Westy does what he's got to do. But, yeah, here we are with the Umbral Lantern, the next item. Oh, they didn't have that Umbral Chopper. Maybe they have the Umbral Lantern. Oh, they do not. All right. The Erdene plate. Or is it supposed to be Ursine plate? Either way, I'm thinking it's probably Cobalt Press. Nothing doing. The Unerring Dowsing Rod. Okay. Dowsing Rod. Nothing. Okay, the Unseelie Staff. I feel like we already looked. Or no, that was Seelie. How about Unseelie? Nope. The Valkyrie's Bite. There's a monster, but there's no magic items. The Vengeful Coat. Man, it's going to go a lot quicker if none of the items exist. The Verses of Vengeance. Ah, there we go. Nope. The VL of Weirding and Warding. Interesting. Ain't gonna lie. Nope. Vile Razor. The things I do, it's all because of you. Void Skin Cloak. Eesh. Void Walker. Ah, come on. There we go. Hey, they do have it. Void Walker Armor. Book of Many Things. Leather Armor Studded. Use a bonus action to project a copy of yourself in an unoccupied space. A translucent copy, immunity to all damage conditions, can make attack and cast spells with a range as if standing in the projection space. Nice. Disappears at the end of your turn. It's a once a day thing. It's a cursed item. Shit. Alright, should have read that first. Finally found an item, but not for sale. Alright, we're definitely going to have some of these wands, if not all of them. Wand of Binding. Spellcaster. I feel like all the wands are going to say Spellcaster. That's true. Hadn't really thought about that. Yeah, maybe some of these items would just be the non-cursed versions, because yeah, why hamstring ourselves and remove cool items? And by the same token, why couldn't some of the items that don't have a curse associated with it be cursed? Can go both ways. Alright. Poplu. 7 charges, regains. Hold monster, hold person. Are those concentration? They are. Paralysis, huh. What spell save DC does it use? DC 17. That's pretty handy. And the charges 5 and 2. You can do hold person a few times or hold monster once. And it takes an attunement slot for spells that you could otherwise learn. Of course, if you don't have them on your list, yeah, let's go 28. 2700. Wand of Bristles. No results found. Enemy detection. You know the direction of the nearest creature hostile to you within 60 feet, but not its distance. Can also sense ethereal, invisible, disguised, or hidden. Interesting. Very specific uses. Does require attunement. Doesn't really affect a foe coming at you, but it does kind of stymie any surprise that they might garner. So as far as where it falls in on one side of the Wand of Binding or the other is kind of debatable. I'm going to say a flat 3,000. Sometimes hindering the other person is more effective than what you can do yourself. Wand of Fear. F-R. Wand of Fear. Alright, let's try this one. Command DC 15. Or a Cone of Fear. 60 feet. They are all frightened, no reactions. They do get additional saving throws, unlike Turn Undead. Otherwise, it's kind of like a Turn Undead, but a cone version. Also can't take reactions. Am I missing? Okay, there it is, to expend 2 charges. I was like, does it cost no charges to do the Cone of Fear? Okay. The saving throws are moderate, which I think will make it a little reasonable. Definitely cheaper than 5,000. Probably 2,100. The Wand of Fireballs. Oh boy. Everyone's favorite. The gold standard of wands. 1 charge to cast a fireball spell. And you can increase the spell slot for each additional charge. You just burn the whole thing out and cast a... well, I guess you can't burn it all out in one, because that would be a 10th level spell, which doesn't exist. Pretty handy. Potential burnable item if you roll a natural 1. And you heard it here first. It may take me a few months before I actually write it into the Role-Playing Unlimited bylaws. But this will be our 3rd instance of a D20 roll that you cannot use an inspiration on. If you happen to burn all the charges and you're unlucky enough to roll a natural 1, the wand or magic item in question will crumble, cannot be re-rolled with any kind of inspiration. Or if you have the lucky feat, that may be a workaround, because I'm not going to house rule an existing feat, but as far as what inspiration can and cannot be used on, that's something a little more Well, I mean, this is powerful. Wand of Lightning Bolts, likely in the same category. Even still, I mean, if you did just all basic versions of fireballs, that's like 7 fireballs a day. That's hefty. I'm gonna max that cost out, 5,000. Lightning Bolt Wand. Same thing, I'm sure, yep. And debatable, but I feel like Fireball is just better than Lightning Bolt because Lightning Bolt you have to get them in a straight line, whereas Fireball is just, they have to be kind of clustered. Although if you're lucky enough to get them in a straight hallway, then you can technically probably hit as many, if not more, targets with a Lightning Bolt than you would get with Fireball. So not a tremendous difference. We'll set this at 4,300. The Wand of Paralyses. Okay. One effect, moderate save, gets a continuous save. Paralysis is no laughing matter, though. I'd say it's better than Fear. Binding, close to that. Binding gave you 2 options, though. This is it any creature? Yeah. So I guess that's the difference between Hold Person and Hold Monster. And this is only 1 charge. So I would say even better than the Wand of Binding. Somewhere in par of the Enemy Detection Wand. Possibly close even to value to the Lightning Bolt Wand. Yeah, I think we'll upper 3,000 this baby here. 3,800. And it's the final 10 or dozen items or so here. Let's see. Wand of Treasure Finding. Nope. It's not in our compendium. A Wand of Vapors. Possibly the same. That's right. Wand of Wonder. Or the D100, so yeah, it's completely random what you do with the Wand of Wonder. Saving throws are all moderate, and things can affect you just as much as they might affect others. Some effects just might have nothing at all. You might stun yourself for an entire round. The Wild Mage at a certain level will possibly gain like an ability to control this, but that's like a very specific contingency there, so I'm kind of thinking that shouldn't really affect the cost of the item itself. It's got some good effects, but it's very random. That sounds like right at the middle for me. 2,500 as we get the Timekeeper Wand. No, we do not. We will delete. And another section colored in. Final minutes here, friends. And I'm going to start getting ready for our in-person meetup board game. The Warhorn of Valor. No attunement, a bonus action, ends the frightened effect. Gives you advantage on being frightened. And once a day, give all your allies a +1 to AC. Okay. No attunement is nice, but its effects are kind of limited. That's probably 1500 for me, I would say. Warlock's Aegis. No item found. Warrior's Passkey. Okay. Hey, there it is. It's a longsword. Can use the key form of the sword to cast Knock. Alright. Bonus action to transform it into a +1 magical longsword that you are considered proficient with. It deals force damage. And yeah, unless you use another bonus action to revert. Yeah, this is a cool one. I've never seen this. If you enter attunement, okay. It's a +1 weapon with some cool extras. Force damage is nice. It's nice that it deals a D10 in the one-handed form. I guess that brings up the potential confusion later on if somebody's like, well, what if I try to use it two-handed? Does it go to a D12? Is it a 2D6? I'm assuming that it's a D10 with one hand, because it doesn't say two hands. It just says on a hit it deals this damage. So I'm guessing it's probably, does it say versatile? Yeah, it's exactly the same. There it is. That answers my question. D10 +1, D10 +1. Doesn't matter. Okay. Warrior's Passkey. +1. Unlimited knock spells. When in doubt, Peyton Manning. Wayfarer's Boots. There they are. Also from Bixby's Glory of the Giants. Rare item. Your walking speed goes up by 10 with advantage on survival checks. Once a day expeditious retreat. Not as cool as the Boots of Speed, which are priced at 5,000. They're right up there at the max. Yeah, double speed persistently. This is just an extra +10. Once a day, something cool. Let's go 1100. +2 weapon is already set. Weapon of Certain Death. Oh. No bonus to attack or damage, but it does prevent their restoration until the start of your next turn. It's kind of a bitch. Definitely not as valuable as a Dragon Slayer or Giant's Bane, I would say. Or is it? I mean, those are circumstantial, and this is going to hit every time and prevent the ability to regain hit points. I would say it's definitely not as valuable as the Tentacle Rod, giving you the 3 attacks. That's pretty nice, and it doesn't require attunement, so that's an extra nasty little effect right there. I'm gonna go 4,200. A webbed staff, not the staff of webs. That doesn't exist in either case. The Whirlwind Bolas. Bolas 007. Bolas. Gong of Whirlwinds, but no bolas. Whispering Cloak. Nope. Wings of Flying. Oh yeah, those are way too highly priced. 5,000 max. And let's check them. What? Oh, wing. That's why. Like, I know it's an official item where... Okay. Does require attunement. You get wings. Flying speed of 60 feet. For 1 hour. And you can't use them again for a number of hours after that. It's kind of a permanent flight effect. Once in a while you won't have access to it. That is a extremely valuable mode of angle as well. It does take an attunement slot. I think just a... Yeah, I'm thinking 5,000. Yeah, just like the Boots of Speed. Boots of Speed are doubling your movement on the ground to 60 feet. These are giving you 60 feet of flight. Granted, it's circumstantial, but I would say flight is arguably a superior than 30 feet of extra ground speed. The Witch Hunter's Armor. Negative. And our final item, the Ziphian Eye Amulet. Not found. Alright. Yep, sort the rest of this out. And there we have it, folks. Our rare items, of which we have between 2 and 200. So we have 199 new items that will be unlocked once you complete the Moorlanders Rare Inventory Challenge. Can't make such a prediction with the very rare items here, as I still have to 81 to 178. I still have about 100 items to go through here, so I might still do these in the backdrop like I've been doing. They may I may make a live stream out of it like I did this one. I just wanted to make sure that I had the focus to get it done. Also give you guys another opportunity to earn some Beskars, drop some into our community challenges. And yeah, a little sneak peek at what you're looking at for your very rares. Between 5,000 and 50,000 for each of these items. Of course, consumables will be drastically different. Ammunition, arrows, things of that nature will not cost 5,000 per arrow. But yeah, defensively, defense is 50,000 plus cost right there just for your +2 armor. +3 armor is technically considered legendary, so like I said earlier, we will not find those available for sale. Slight difference between your belts of strength right here. Couple figurines of wondrous power in the very rare category, one of which was given out as a Hype Train reward. I think it was Richter who got that one, so that'll be a fun little thing. Summon your own personal nightmare for 24 hours. A lot of the Iron Stones here, these all came down tremendously. These were priced at 50,000 at max value. And after looking at it more and more, I was just like, I don't see it. I mean, they take one of your attunement slots, they give you a +2 to an attribute, but they only raise it to a max of 20. If it was like one of the tomes where it just gave you a flat +2 and it raised the maximum accordingly, I could see it being worth 40,000 plus. But in the state that it's in, where it is taking one of your 3, maybe 4 or 5 valuable attunement slots, depending on your subscription status with Role Playing Unlimited, it's a finite resource, so I'm kind of thinking cost-wise, 7,700 is more in line with what they do. And then these are the biggest exceptions. Speaking of the tomes, they are not within the 5 and 50,000. They are priced, I believe, rather perfectly at 75,000 each. They could technically be considered legendary items in their own right, but rather than place them out of purchasability, I decided we'll keep them very rare, but we're going to bump the cost up, and yeah, we'll take it even outside of that 50,000 range, because these are some of the most valuable items that you'll get, and we had people stacking, double stacking, triple stacking these to great effect last campaign, especially as we got into the final act and people had a lot of money, and we had that null time zone where people were able to spend days and days in there and it only counted as hours in the campaign setting. But otherwise, that will wrap it up for us here. We've got the common items all done. There's only 26 of them. Uncommons have been available for a few days now. Looks like we've got 128, so 127 items right there, and there's some very valuable ones here, even at the 500 cost point. But yeah, we'll definitely get a major bump up in our potential with these items here once they're placed into play. Of course, getting that money will be another thing entirely. We haven't found a whole lot of wealth in the campaign so far, and I think only one player with their deck of many things red card draw, only one player drew the gem card, and big ups to Fox right there, man. If you're watching all the table threads and all that stuff, of course everybody's kind of linked to their own table so that the server isn't too gigantic for you to navigate, but he was kind enough to offer a uncommon magic item to everybody in the party. So rather than beef up one character with the best of the best, we're going to spread that out and ensure the survivability of the characters themselves. Yeah, the knight is a handy pull there as well. Definitely saw that come into good use numerous times last campaign, and also spilling into this campaign because the character that Sarge is playing was conjured into existence by the knight card. But that will do it here, friends. Take a last look here at our rare magic items, hopefully within the hour or so. It really just depends on Westy's availability. We may get it done later tonight, might be posted up tomorrow, but at least right here you can see what you'll have access to once you complete that community challenge. And that'll be for kind of slipping here, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning are our feudal Waterdeep zombie apocalypse tables. So yeah, once you guys complete that community challenge of 100k, these items are now in Moorlander's inventory for you to purchase. And likewise for Monday, Tuesday, Sunday evening, you're just a session or two behind on that. And then likewise, once you complete your community challenge, same thing, same items come into your inventory, and then we'll boost it up to the very rares and see when we can get these items into players' hands. That's still likely a number of weeks, if not months out even. But thank you very much, friends. I'm going to call it a day here. We will catch up with you tomorrow morning for Sunday G1, tomorrow evening for Sunday G2. And then we are back into our weekly trifecta. It's actually going to be a superfecta this week if I'm doing Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Monday, and Tuesday. That's 4 streams in a row in 3 days. So big stuff coming, friends. Stick with us here. The Coalescence is still just getting started. Much love all. Have a great day.
very bright. But Jenny's alright. She tries, but then she gets tired. She tries to hide.